Welcome to URI Just Getting Started podcast, episode 33. Tonight, I'm thrilled to have a special guest. He's the head coach of Dream City Christian. His name is Kyle Weaver. He's also coached DeAndre Ayton, NBA All-Star. But most importantly, he's coaching our transfer Alabama sensation, 6'11", Alex Frenchti Tchikou. How you doing, Kyle? Can you tell us about what to expect from Alex? He's getting some great praise from all these leading analysts, and also had a great start for the first 3 games at Rhode Island.
He's again a great kid. He's a comedian.
Really?
Again, I think for him that's what our relationship. We grew real close. Is I'm a very sarcastic person, and he's very comical. So we clicked right away. We bonded. Even come back from road trips, it'd be 9:00 at night. We get back, and he wants to get back in the gym, and I would always get back in the gym with him. That's the thing that stood out to me for him the most. Again, his ability and want to get better and to be better consistently. So we again had a really tight bond and grew close. And again, kid's got all the potential in the world. Now, obviously, you guys are seeing it. His injury his first year kind of halted his progress, obviously, with him going to Alabama. And then just going to a coach, I think for him is it's all about fit and system. So I think Rhode Island's a perfect fit and system for him. And again, he's a really good kid. That's the one thing.
That's interesting that you said that. Rhody Nation follows. It may not sound like it. They're not Alabama, and Alabama's known for their fervor and their fans, but I'll take the top Rhody fans and equal them to the top Alabama fans. So they're looking at every single part of his history, and they're looking at him after his injury and his following season. He only played 3 games, and they're wondering, what happened? And this is what I think happened. I think that he got a little lost in the shuffle, and they keep recruiting and over him, and it is hard to overcome an Achilles injury. And we're just very fortunate to have someone like that. And I think people are going to be very disappointed who overlooked him when the season's over. It's already he's getting some buzz now, but we'll play some video later on. How's that for an analysis? Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, no. Again, when you're in the SEC and you're obviously on a larger contract, a lot of those coaches are on win now mode. And not saying Nate Oates was on win now mode. He was only in his second year there when he recruited him. But obviously it's a different animal. SEC and like you said, over recruiting and a kid coming back from an Achilles injury, it's always tough. So I think for him, that was the biggest thing, is being in a place where he was wanted and a place that he had to play. And you guys, again, got a steal. He, on our Dream City team, he played alongside, obviously, Marjon Beauchamp, who's a first-round draft pick, who's right now leading the NBA in defensive field goal percentage. And then Arthur Kluma, who just had a phenomenal game an hour ago in the Maui Classic. And Arthur's also on the draft boards right now. So, and Alex always showed that potential at 6'11", 7 foot, the ability to stretch out defense. His length is, I go back to defensively how great he was for us. And that's an attribute that at 6'11", 7 foot, not many dudes can guard 6'8", 6'7". He could guard legitimately the 1 through 5.
You said
because of his length and size.
We have a scout who said that same thing. We'll go to a PowerPoint soon. But I was questioning him today. I said, "Are you sure he could guard 1 through 5?" And he's like, "He can." So now that you say that, I guess it's true. He's a phenomenal defender already.
Yeah, no, I go back to him. There was a clip when we played Prolific Prep. He had a guard, Coleman Hawkins, who is a phenomenal player at Illinois right now, who's having a great career there. And then that same game had to take Jalen Green, and was able to defensively side on both of them. So Yeah, no, I would agree. Now, again, he can always continue to get better, but matchup wise, he legitimately can guard the 1 through 5.
There was a great documentary, and we're going to have this as a programming note after the podcast. So make sure our viewers don't leave. It's done by Fresh Focus Sports. You may have seen it, but talks about his background in France and difficulties coming here. How did you and him become together as a coach and a star player? I know
Yeah,
he
no,
played somewhere else before you. What happened there? Love to hear this.
yeah, no, he transferred from what's it, Brewster. He
Yes.
transferred from Brewster, got to us. I want to say it was right around Halloween, right around that time, going November 1st, right around that time, got to us. It took about 2 months for him to adjust. We were having to teach him a lot of defensive principles.
Mm-hmm.
Because at Finley Prep the year before they had just closed, he had not had to. He didn't play significant minutes. Um, so we had to teach for the first about 2 months he was there. We had him teach him a lot of basic defensive principles, help side, on ball. And then after the new year, that's when you kind of started seeing the motors start to go, and the gears start to move. So that for him, that was the biggest thing, is to get him comfortable with defensively guarding those positions. We grew a lot with the trust, and obviously a lot of our relationship grew was being in the gym and working out. I'm not the most social coach, and off the court, my work I love to do is just be in the gym and grind. So with Alex's work ethic, again, there were a lot of late nights and me getting in the gym, and that's kind of where we grew our relationship, and that's where he really trusted me, um, and we became more than just honestly a coach and player. It became more of a real friendship and a relationship. So, um, like there was a coach that called me this past offseason recruiting and was like, "Hey, he really values you," which kind of moved me, because again, in this system, you're always gonna have players that always come back, but you never ever ask for anything in return. And just say you're another college coach, say, "Coach, he trusts you." Those things they can move mountains. So you know when when you hear words like that, you're doing something right. So I think our relationship just grew, it mainly just being in the gym and working out. Alex really liked to work out, and he got a lot better in the 10 months he was with us.
Yeah. And the trust I could see, judging by every recruit that came in this year for Archie Miller, they all pretty much said the same thing. And I think there is a trust in him as well. And he's he's got some big wins this year, great recruiting class. And he went after the best schools and still won. Brandon Weston's another great player from Seton Hall. And
Yep.
so that's why, in a way, Frenchy gets lost in the shuffle a little bit. But after 3 games, we're starting to look again and say, hey, maybe he is the top dog this year. We don't know.
Alex Tchikou is a 6'11". He might be 7 foot now. Prospect originally out of France. He can play inside and out. He can pass, dribble, shoot. He's in the 2021 class. He came here unranked, obviously. He hadn't played any games in high school in the United States. Here we are a year later, and he's top 25 in the country.
My name is Alex Tchikou. People call me Frenchy, and I'm from Paris, France. I actually started playing basketball really, really late, like 3 years ago. I kind of wanted to take my game to the next level. So that's why I decided to come here to compete with the best player in the world.
Nice. Step big with rhythm.
Wow, that's some documentary. They do a
Yeah,
great
no,
job.
absolutely.
You got a nice plug over there as well, seeing Dream City right in there.
Being 6'11" and being who he is, he can legitimately guard 94 feet. again, there was a play his senior year, that year with them, that we were at Prolific Prep. Obviously, they were the #1 team in the country that year. And we should have beat them at home. We should have swept them, but we went 1-1. We beat them up there. There was a play where it was Jalen or Coleman. They drove, and Alex pinned it right on the backboard.
Wow.
And those are the plays that he can kind of really change because of his length and size and speed. His defense, there's no reason he can't be an all A10 first team defensive. So for him, that's what's going to separate him from many other players at 6'8" or 6'9" or even another 6'10". They don't move the way Alex moves, like he's 6'6". Not many legit 6'11", 7-footers can move the way he does. So his defense is the thing I think that's going to be the separator, because offense is always going to come and go depending on your day, but the defense is always going to be consistent. So defensively, he brings a whole different aspect to any team or any game. So I think for Rhode Island, that's the thing to really rely heavily on is his defensive ability to really be able to switch 1 through 5, be able to alter shots, to be a menace on the glass, because of his length and his ability to longer arms, be able to tip it. Because he's not going to get credit necessarily for the rebounds, but being able to tip it out. And Coach Kell, I just was watching an interview with Coach Sampson over at Houston, and he said those are things that change teams and change the outcomes of games. No one's going to mark that in the box score as a deflection on a rebound or tipping out to your teammate, but those are the aspects that really make teams great. And his ability to do that is what's going to really, I think, help Rhode Island to a lot of wins and have a lot of success.
It sounds like he tips the ball similar to Tyson Chandler did during when the Knicks were relevant a few years ago. I don't know if you remember him doing that. I haven't seen that in a while. So we can look forward to that too.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go over to the PowerPoint. You're a young guy, and you've just had a great career, and I see you standing next to DeAndre. Who's the other gentleman next to you?
Shaden Sharp, who was the #7 draft pick in this year's draft, and he came to us unranked and went from unranked to the #1 player in the country, and enrolled at Kentucky early, didn't play, and entered the draft. And so his last game was at Dream City, and then now him and Marjan Beauchamp, both Dream City Christian players. They're actually 2 of the top 5 players right now in the NBA in defensive field goal percentage. So, yeah, no, it's been an ultimate blessing. I've been very, very fortunate.
Sorry. How did you get hooked up with DeAndre in the first place? I mean, that's a major get.
So I was 24 years old. I just became the head coach at Hillcrest Prep. And I had Marvin Bagley also at that time. And DeAndre was leaving his school in San Diego. And DeAndre came out on a visit. And it wasn't anything I did. He wanted to play with Marvin Bagley. And then obviously everything else changed. Marvin ended up transferring about 3 weeks later. He went to Sierra Canyon. DeAndre stayed for the next 2 years, and we grew really close in our relationship. Alex Shaku actually we were Puma sponsored the whole time Alex was at Dream City. And that Puma sponsorship was because of DeAndre Ayton. So we I ran all of DeAndre's pre-draft training and all that stuff. We grew real close, and I just saw them last week. But DeAndre is kind of the main guy who jump-started my career. I was 24 years old. And at 24, coaching the #1 player I just had turned 25, coaching the #1 player in the country in respective classes. And to be a Division II basketball player, you never would think I had a lot of success playing, but as a D2 player, I would never have thought I would have been able to coach this many NBA guys. And right now I've coached 5 overall NBA first-round draft picks, with maybe as many as 3 entering this year, depending on how this year goes. We have a kid down at VCU who you guys probably are familiar with, And
Who's
then I've
that?
got obviously Jaden Nunn.
Oh, of course. We recruited,
Yeah, so
I believe.
yep.
He was
Jaden was
URI.
yep, yep, yep. Coach Cox had recruited him. And Jaden really didn't have many people recruiting him either, and then he blew up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Jaden just turned 19 years old. He played his whole freshman year at 18.
Wow.
Which in today's game is unheard of. But yeah, with him, Arthur Kaluma, and then also another French player who Alex knows, Johan Traore, who's down at Auburn.
You have a nice resume there. I have to ask you this question. How does Alex stack up with DeAndre? I know it's cliche, but if I didn't
Yeah,
ask that, they'd kill me, the Rhody Nation.
no, absolutely. DeAndre was a different. DeAndre was more of that 5'4", where Alex is more of a wing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Alex moves. The thing I always told Alex is not many guys at 6'11" move the way you move, and he's real quick with hip movements and laterally. So again, I'm not avoiding the question. They're two different
Yeah.
players. DeAndre could, I saw DeAndre check Trevon Duvall in high school and check Billy Preston, who were two top ranked kids in the country. And obviously Alex did the same things. So for Alex, his biggest thing, his ability to shoot at 6'11", that's going to be the thing that separates him from a lot of guys. And again, I know I repeat myself, but that kind of be the comparison.
We can never hear that too much. And
No.
we already know how he wound up at Dream City, and his transition must have still been difficult in the speed of the game, from what I hear. And just the cultural, any comical stories that you have with him? You're a sarcastic guy. You said he has a good sense of humor. There must have been some funny things going on there that you could remember.
There were a lot. I honestly can't even remember any right now off the top of my head. But I just remember there was a car ride from Nashville Airport to Kentucky to a place about 2 hours away from Nashville Airport. And I think the whole time we were just busting each other's chops the whole time.
Yeah.
And I still remember everyone in the car thinking Alex was just insane, but he was being sarcastic the whole time. So Alex, again, his sense of humor is he's just a funny kid and a great kid. So I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I still remember that car ride. I remember like it was yesterday. It's insane. He can handle the ball really well. That's the thing that, like I said, is again, I don't know many 6'11", 7-footers that handle the way he handles the ball.
Yeah. And we covered the Alabama, it looks pretty impressive there. A little imposing, but we're happy to have him in Rhody blue instead of crimson.
No, absolutely.
And then at Rhode Island now, this is a great quote from Jon Rothstein, and basically saying, there won't be many 5 men in the Atlantic 10 that can touch Alex's physical attributes and the high ceiling.
Absolutely.
What a compliment. And already after 3 games, the number is 6.3, 5.7, field goal percentage, 68%. He's shooting about the high sevens, maybe 80% from the foul line. And we've had some great bigs that didn't shoot at that rate at such a young age as their freshmen. We have a star guy, Stevie Studley. He knows a lot about the game, and he has some great comments about he didn't realize how good of a playmaker he is. The other areas, the block shots. He also agreed with you, and he said he can guard the 1 to 5. I questioned that to him this afternoon, and I guess I'm sold on that. We have a guy named Cyril Langevine, one of the great bigs that we had at Rhode Island, and he thinks he's a lot like him, which is a great compliment, who runs hard all the time, nonstop. And after only 3 games, he just thinks that his upside is phenomenal. I guess he's a sophomore now. Like I said, his foul shooting at 73% is higher some of these. Even the Mitchell twins, they had good games, but their foul shooting was a problem. We're shooting really well from the foul line, and I haven't given up on this team. I think we're going to be a much better team because of players that just have such high upside, and they're going to continue to get better as the season goes on. And I know you have your hands full. I just wanted to play a video of what he's done already. You may not have seen this, but I think you'll enjoy seeing this. You play this, but this is what he's done already. Maybe you're seeing some new moves for the first time.
And a great pass there from Thomas. On as now Courtright will take it to the basket once again, drawing a lot of contact, but Brooklyn, New York. Look to make an impact early on is Shaku. Recipient, the Rams take it away. Trying to capitalize, and they do. There's Sebastian Thomas.
Yeah, that's another angle.
Thomas again was just at 6 minutes before re-entering, and there's the two-hand slam from Tchikou. 8 is 6. Tchikou high lob to Stewart. Gets it on the bobble. The layup is up and through. And they were not productive from the free throw line at all. As 2 for 2 from Tchikou. % from the field. As Tchikou
well, as you can see there, the banks are open at 9 o'clock in Kingston Island on that shot. I don't even know if that's qualifies a Banks joke, because it just looked like it wasn't. He looks like he has some really good touch there, and he has a good short jumper as well. Any comments on what you've seen so far? Is it just more of the same, or are you surprised at it?
That's more the same. I just love that he's accepting the position he's playing. And he's doing it to his best of his ability. That's the biggest thing. So no, I love seeing that pass, back door. I love seeing that block. I've seen that block before. I've seen that block before in person. So I love him getting from the weak side and going and sending that shot out of bounds, because a lot of guys aren't capable to do that, or they're too late, and it gets a floater gets put over the rim, so they can't get it. So I love his reaction and timing on that. So, and then obviously his arc on his shots. He's got phenomenal touch on his shot.
Wow. Well, Kyle, I can't say how happy I am to have you. And I know the response from Rhody Nation is going to be phenomenal, not just because he's such a great player and he has a personality, but your insight is unmatched by anyone right now. You know him as well as anyone, and you have a little assistant over there helping you out behind you.
Yeah.
But I wanted to just ask you one thing before you go. Do you have anything to say to Frenchy? Putting you on.
Just keep grinding, keep working. The sky's the limit for him. He knows. I've told him that from the start. He knows what the end goal is and where he needs to be. Continue defending, control the controllables, and just keep working.
Well, Frenchy, you're watching, I know, no doubt. So listen to this. Your old coach here, he knows what he's talking about. And remember, don't tune out. We got a great documentary on Frenchy. Also, thanks again, Kyle. And is it Go Eagles?
Go Eagles. Yep.
Okay. Have a great one. Let's cross our fingers for our friend Frenchy. Thank you.
Yep. No, thank you, Scott.
Right leg plant, so I catch it. 1, 2, show, and then I attack the rim, dunk. Nice. Alex Tchikou is a 6'11". He might be 7 foot now. Prospect originally out of France. He can play inside and out. He can pass, dribble, shoot. He's in the 2021 class. He came here unranked, obviously. He hadn't played any games in high school in the United States. Here we are a year later, and he's top 25 in the country.
My name is Alex Tchikou. People call me Frenchy, and I'm from Paris, France. I actually started playing basketball really, really late, like 3 years ago. I kind of wanted to take my game to the next level. So That's why I decided to come here to compete with the best player in the world.
Nice. Step big with rhythm. He's multi-dimensional. The game has evolved. Make it game-like, sit down. Even at the college level, they won't really recruit fours if you can't really hit the three. Because of the spacing and the rules, like the game has become more international. So I like to hit on ball skills. There you go, start here. Be explosive. Yank it. Get there. It tells you a lot about his character, his buy-in to the process, and his love for basketball to really pack your bags and leave your family and come to a country you've never been in with complete strangers. That says a lot about him.
I call LA my city because that's the city I know. When I got in the US, that was the first city. That's why I landed first. I love to be here. That's why I have most of my friends. Ça va, Charles, là? Eh, buvez pas trop, hein? Tu dis buvez pas trop, eh? Say hi to the camera, bro. Now they're gonna celebrate the New Year at a city 2 hours away from Paris. Fais voir ta tenue là. Let me see the outfit. Let me see the outfit. Let me see. Alors. fais voir la tenue de Melvin. Maman.
Oui.
T'es pas sortie?
J'ai pas trouvé de tenue, je suis fâchée.
Est-ce que tu sors?
Pas trouvé de tenue, je suis fâchée.
Tu veux que je te mette dans ma vidéo? She's mad. What? She didn't find no outfit to go out tonight for the 31st.
I'm going to. Hi.
Hi. I love her so much and I miss her. And she's definitely the biggest reason why I'm doing that for sure, because I'm trying to make her get out the hood and I'm trying to make her have a better life. So yeah, I love you and I'll call you back.
I love you, Mom.
I came in the US less than 2 years ago. I'm just trying to stay really humble and just keep working. But I want to go to the NBA and go to the NBA as a big player.
Sell it like you're gonna shoot it. Put that hand there like you're gonna shoot. Get there, yes.
My dad used to play in Croatia, in the second or third division in Croatia. And he used to tell me since I was a baby just to play basketball, but I never really listened. Soccer is the sport that dominates in France. Everybody's playing soccer. But I finally stopped playing soccer and stopped playing basketball and I just fell in love with the sport.
I'm going NBA 3, I'm jab hard right, over the top, hard, rip through, one dribble shot. Hard though. Go back. Harder, hard. Hard on both, hard.
I'm the kind of player that hates people that tell me what I want to hear. I love people that tell me that what I have to hear. And that's what I like about Julius. He's always keeping it 100 with me, always telling me what I have to hear, always like being hard on me.
Side to go, you gotta be low and explode. You gotta feel you in his chest. There you go.
I feel like he's a person that will help me reach my potential the best.
End up square with the basket so you can lift. It's funny, we were watching videos from when he first got to this country. Just a total different player, man. His approach is different, his mentality is different. It's exciting to see and almost overwhelming to see it right in front of your eyes, to see a kid keep getting better and see him turn that corner. Boom, boom, skip, dunk. I think he's one of the best prospects at his age in the world. Attack him. He's nowhere near his ceiling. It's going to be very interesting to see how he develops and progresses and what he looks like towards the finish line. We're nowhere near done.